The 1990s gave us Hollywood's most toxic breakups: restraining orders, public humiliation, career sabotage, shocking betrayals. These 25 celebrity splits destroyed lives and careers. You think you know what happened between Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder? Wait until you hear what really went down with one couple that involved the FBI. Charlie Sheen and Donna Peel. They were married for just 6 months before divorcing in spectacular fashion. Sheen's cocaine addiction had spiraled completely out of control, and Peel discovered his affairs with multiple prostitutes. She filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences, but the translation was simple. He chose drugs over his wife. Peel disappeared from Hollywood completely after this nightmare. Smart move on her part. Johnson and Melanie Griffith. They divorced twice, repeating the same toxic cycle that should have been a massive red flag. Johnson's cocaine addiction destroyed everything in its path, while Griffith's prescription drug abuse made their situation even worse. Their daughter Dakota regularly found them unconscious from overdoses, and child services eventually got involved. Both parents were too high to care about the damage they were causing. Mickey Rourke and Carey Otis. 6 years of documented abuse left Otis with severe PTSD that haunts her to this day. Rourke punched and kicked her regularly, and he forced her into dangerous situations while she was heavily medicated. She attempted suicide multiple times during their marriage, while neighbors called police constantly. No one could save her but herself, and she finally found the strength to escape. Tommy Lee and Heather Locklear. After 7 years of marriage, they divorced in 1993, when Lee's alcoholism finally destroyed everything they had built. He became increasingly violent and unpredictable, while Locklear suffered in silence to protect her pristine Hollywood image. The experience left her with severe anxiety disorders that required years of therapy to overcome. Lee, meanwhile, moved on immediately to Pamela Anderson, without missing a beat. Anna Nicole Smith and J. Howard Marshall II. They were married for just 14 months before his death in 1995, but the aftermath consumed Smith's entire life. Smith claimed Marshall promised her half of his estate in return for marriage, but she wasn't in his will. His son E. Pierce Marshall blocked her claims completely. Smith was investigated by the FBI in 2000 and 2001 for an alleged murder-for-hire plot against E. Pierce Marshall, the man standing between her and millions of dollars. Michael Hutchence and Helena Christensen. 4 years of passion turned toxic. Hutchence's drug use escalated dramatically. Christensen tried desperately to save him. He became paranoid and controlling, accused her of cheating constantly. The breakup sent him into a spiral. He never recovered emotionally, died by suicide 2 years later. Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder. Hollywood's golden couple imploded in 1993. Ryder suddenly left him for another man. Depp's Winona Forever tattoo became a joke. He spiraled into drugs and alcohol, never fully recovered from the betrayal. Ryder developed crippling anxiety. Both careers nearly ended. Love destroyed them both. Charlie Sheen and Robin Wright. Brief but devastating relationship. Sheen's violent tendencies emerged early. Wright filed a restraining order. He stalked her after their breakup. She moved to a different state to escape, changed her phone number multiple times. Sheen's obsession lasted years. She never felt completely safe. Hugh Grant and Elizabeth Hurley, 13 years together. Grant's prostitute scandal in 1995 broke something. Hurley became obsessed with surveillance, hired private investigators to follow him. Trust was permanently shattered. Grant felt like a prisoner in his own relationship. Paranoia consumed them both. Richard Gere and Cindy Crawford, 4 years of subtle psychological abuse. Gere controlled every aspect of her life: what she wore, who she talked to, how she posed for photos. Crawford didn't realize the damage until years later. The manipulation was complete and devastating. She lost her sense of identity. Billy Bob Thornton and Cinda Williams. 2 years of documented violence. Williams filed multiple restraining orders. Thornton threatened to kill her repeatedly, said he'd bury her in a rose garden. Court documents are disturbing to read. She lived in constant fear. She moved across the country to escape and still fears for her safety. Gary Busey and Tiani Warden. Started in 1996, Busey's brain injury made him unpredictable. Warden filed multiple police reports. He held a knife to her throat during rages. Drug-fueled violence became routine. She was hospitalized several times. Their son witnessed everything. Childhood trauma that lasts forever. Christian Slater and Ryan Haddon. Their relationship began in 1998, with violence starting almost immediately. Slater was arrested multiple times for domestic violence, while Haddon was hospitalized after several brutal attacks. The couple fell into a destructive cycle of violence, followed by reconciliation. Hollywood looked the other way, because money bought silence, and the pattern continued for years. Axl Rose and Stephanie Seymour. Their 2-year relationship was marked by Rose's obsession and controlling behavior that bordered on stalking. After their breakup, he hired private investigators to follow her and sent threatening messages constantly. Seymour was forced to get multiple restraining orders, but his harassment continued for years afterward. The psychological impact was so severe that she required extensive therapy to overcome her fear. Phil Hartman and Bryn Omdahl. 11 years of marriage. Ended in murder-suicide in 1998. Omdahl's paranoia and drug use escalated. She shot Hartman while he slept, then killed herself hours later. Their children discovered the bodies. Hollywood's most shocking tragedy. Friends saw warning signs but did nothing. Woody Allen and Mia Farrow. 12-year relationship ended in scandal. Farrow discovered Allen's affair with her adopted daughter. He was also accused of molesting 7-year-old Dylan. The custody battle was brutal. Both sides made devastating accusations. The family was destroyed completely. Some wounds never heal. Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love. Their 2 years together were a drug-fueled chaos that ended with Cobain's suicide in 1994. Both were struggling heroin addicts. Police reports show multiple domestic violence incidents between them. Love has been accused of contributing to his death through emotional manipulation and enabling his drug use. Some even claim she hid his suicide note for days before finding it. River Phoenix and Martha Plimpton. Their relationship ended in 1989. Phoenix's drug use destroyed everything. Plimpton tried desperately to save him, but he chose heroin over love. The breakup devastated both of them. Phoenix died of an overdose in 1993. Plimpton blamed herself for years. Survivor's guilt consumed her. Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger. Married in 1993. Divorced in 2002. The custody battle was vicious. Baldwin left that infamous voicemail to their daughter, called her a rude, thoughtless little pig. Basinger suffered panic attacks so severe she couldn't leave home. Their child was weaponized against both parents. Jean-Claude Van Damme and Darcy Lapierre. 3 years of steroid-fueled rage. Van Damme's violence was legendary on sets. Lapierre suffered physical and emotional abuse. He threatened to kill her multiple times. She fled with their son and changed identities to hide. His career never recovered from the scandals. Lorenzo Lamas and Kathleen Kinmont. 4 years of documented abuse. Kinmont filed restraining orders repeatedly. Lamas's jealousy was pathological. He controlled her career completely and sabotaged her acting opportunities. She lost roles because of his interference. Financial abuse was also systematic. She escaped with nothing. Steven Seagal and Kelly LeBrock. 9 years of hell. Seagal's controlling behavior was extreme. LeBrock was essentially imprisoned in their home as he monitored phone calls and visitors. Physical abuse was the norm. She was afraid to leave because of his connections. She finally escaped during divorce proceedings in 1996. O.J. Simpson and Nicole Brown Simpson. 7 years of documented domestic violence. Nicole's 911 calls are haunting. O.J. broke down her door while she begged for help. The abuse escalated after their 1992 divorce. She told friends she feared for her life. He murdered her in 1994. The ultimate domestic violence tragedy. Sean Penn and Madonna. Their divorce was finalized in 1989, but their marriage had been a war zone for years. Penn's jealousy reached dangerous levels that Madonna would later describe in horrifying detail. She revealed he tied her to a chair for hours and threatened her with a baseball bat. The most disturbing part? She defended him for years after their split, showing classic abuse victim behavior. Mike Tyson and Robin Givens. 8 months of marriage. Pure psychological warfare. Givens described living in terror during that infamous TV interview. Tyson sat silently beside her. The tension was palpable through the screen. She accused him of manic depression and violence. He claimed she wanted his money. Both were probably right. These weren't just celebrity breakups. They were cautionary tales about power and control. Some stars never recovered from their toxic relationships. Others used their trauma to help domestic violence survivors. The 1990s seemed simpler. But behind the glamour, these celebrities fought battles that made headlines for decades.